Jalur Joab writes, "This is real. Thank you for this supportive conversation. For some of us who grew up in cultures that seem to manufacture narcissism, I'm so grateful for your insight and wisdom in navigating these relationships. Thank you so much. Sounds like you've been sharpening your navigation skills when it comes to narcissistic relationships. And cultural considerations are an important aspect of this conversation." And speaking of conversations, hey Survivor, welcome to episode 57 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Did you listen to comedian Katt Williams' interview that aired this week? Well, he shared some narcissistic behaviors and gems while speaking his truth from an entertainment industry perspective. All jokes aside, if you're ready for some revelations and validation from the inimitable Katt Williams, grab a notebook and pen, and let's dig in. Hey Survivor, welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Lesley. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. It's time to celebrate, Survivor. This month, the Vibrant Survivor podcast turns 1. Can you stand it? So, I'm doing a giveaway. Are you in? Here's how to win. Go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review for the show. Take a screenshot, then send it to support@lesliekane.com by January 24th. And I'll enter your name into a drawing and announce the winner on January 26th. Stay tuned for more details, and thanks so much for an amazing year. This week, comedian Katt Williams' interview on Club Shay Shay broke the internet. And he had a lot to say in between sips of cognac with host Shannon Sharp. Not gonna lie, I laughed out loud. I winced, clenched my teeth, squealed with delight, got wide-eyed, hit rewind, slapped my hand over my mouth, and said, "Ooh." By the end, he had me even more convinced that this is going to be a great year for truth tellers and the trauma-informed. Here are 6 narcissistic behaviors and 6 gems for navigating toxic relationships from this interview. Number 1, rewriting history. Narcissists will lie and twist the narrative to make you the aggressor or the problem, and them the victim or the hero. The sympathetic nervous system is in effect here. They're in hot brain mode. This is a threat response, whether it's a real threat or a perceived threat. They're in survival mode, and their logical brain is offline. So in the interview, Katt Williams said, if you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened, it's untrue, and there are hundreds of witnesses for everything I'm saying. So in other words, stand 10 toes down in your truth, declare your truth, document, get a witness if you have to, depending on the situation, and stand on it. Number 2, projecting a powerful false image. Narcissists will make themselves seem bigger, badder, more influential than they really are. This is an adaptive response to threat, again, whether it's real or perceived, And it's designed to keep you in line by way of fear, intimidation, and control tactics. In the interview, Katt Williams stated, "These people aren't powerful." And he also said, "Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people." I think it's important to note here that blessings don't necessarily have to do with material things. It actually has more to do with spiritual things like joy and contentment and fulfillment in your life, in your spirit. Narcissists don't have that. They don't experience that. If you, survivor, can find joy, peace, fulfillment through connection to God, you will be light years ahead of the narcissist in your life. Number 3, forming toxic alliances. Narcissists will team up with other like-minded individuals to go after just one person. By themselves, they feel weak and insecure deep down inside. Don't get it twisted, though. These alliances are actually unstable, unhealthy relationships that can fall apart just as quickly and selfishly as they've been formed. In the interview, Katt Williams stated, "Toxic people are trying to get things. They are gaining something by how they operate. That's why they operate like that, because they get something." Narcissists will use other people who think the way they do, move the way they do, and it's almost like they're coming together to create one bigger individual or entity to gang up on or go after one person, potentially. And he shared some of his experiences in the entertainment industry. It's interesting because a lot of times narcissists don't feel confident or secure enough, or they're not stable enough or powerful enough really to go into a one-on-one situation. You may have experienced this, survivor, in a friendship or a fake friendship, rather, even in your family, where a group of family members or a pocket of the family came at you for something, but no one would want to necessarily deal with you one-on-one, which is very telling. And it's a great reminder, and Katt gives a great reminder here, to not give your power over to someone else. Number 4, stealing your story. Narcissists will take your lived experience and project it out into the world as their own. When this happens, your story becomes history, or if you're dealing with a female narcissist, her story. Narcissists love attention, and if they think that your story or your side of the story in the narcissistic relationship will earn them sympathy, accolades, any other attention, whether it's positive or negative, and keep them out of the shame and blame game, they will use it, either overtly or covertly. I've experienced this personally, where my side of the story in a narcissistic relationship was projected on the internet in comments on YouTube on a narcissistic abuse channel. I'm sitting here thinking, that's my side of the story. Like, really? In his interview, Katt says they're all feeding off of something. And if you find out what they're feeding off of, you can just begin to turn off their feeding points. And it drives a toxic person crazy, and they'll get away from you. And I thought truer words have never been spoken. So the message here is, stop feeding the beast. Number 5, dragging you into their misery. Narcissists get satisfaction from seeing you suffer or creating feelings of FOMO in you. They can't find pleasure in things that should be pleasurable when their sympathetic nervous system is ruling the roost or they're in hot brain mode. Poor impulse control and illogical thinking can also add fuel to this fire. Katt says, if you take this from me, you'll be a better person. If you decide today that you're going to live every day like it's your last. So in other words, live intentionally. Number 6, sabotaging and undermining. Narcissists will lie, cheat, steal, smear your name without regard or remorse for damages done. They cannot access their moral code when they're in hot brain mode. This is a threat response, whether it's real or not. They operate from a place of jealousy, envy, and no impulse control, as I mentioned before. In the interview, Katt says, it's the period where victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time, and I just haven't said anything because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody. A lot of times, narcissists will do things to sabotage your life or your livelihood, your relationships with other people, undermine things that you're doing, projects you're working on, businesses that you're trying to create. And they will often do it more covertly where it's just not visible to the average person. And if you combine that with people not knowing who and what they're dealing with, then you could be suffering in silence and not have language, or due to fear, intimidation, bullying, threats, not be able to share what's going on behind the scenes. So Katt's saying here that the time has come for people to stand in their truth and to state their truth, to be heard. And I think as more people learn about who and what they're dealing with and they understand narcissism and narcissistic abuse, there'll be more and more survivors who are empowered to come forward. Let's recap 6 narcissistic behaviors from Katt Williams' interview. Number 1, rewriting history. Number 2, projecting a powerful false image. Number 3, forming toxic alliances. Number 4, stealing your story. Number 5, dragging you into their misery. And number 6, sabotaging and undermining. It's a new year, survivor. Be strong and take heart. As Katt Williams said, all people that love the truth gotta be happy if the truth is coming out and lies are getting exposed. That's just what time it is. 2024, folks. If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.